The Physical Development of Infants and Toddlers, presented by Rachel May A. Taoy, Lady Jinky Loreno, and Aaron John Alberto. Before we tackle about the development of infants and toddlers, let us first reevaluate our past lesson, the physical development. What is physical development? If you have any thoughts, you may pause the video and reply below. Two skills under the physical development is gross motor skills and fine motor skills. Gross motor skills. This is the mastery of large muscle movements as well as building of strength in the muscles like the arm, legs, and core. These movements include walking, kicking, jumping, and climbing stairs. Some milestones for gross motor skills also involve eye-hand coordination such as throwing and catching a ball. The second one is the fine motor skills. It involves smaller, more precise movements, particularly movements of hands and fingers. Components of fine motor skills include being able to grip and manipulate objects, use both hands for a task, and use just the thumb and one finger to pick something rather than the whole hand.
Good day! My name is Lady Jinky Ilorano from BSED major in Biological Science. Since my groupmate already tackled about the physical development, we will now continue on discussing physical development of an infant. So before we tackle about the physical growth of infant, we must know some thoughts or information about infancy. According to Soundtrack 2002, as newborns, we were not empty-headed organisms. We cried, kicked, coughed, sucked, saw, heard, and tasted. We slept a lot and occasionally we smiled, although the meaning of our smiles was not entirely clear. We crawled and then we walked. A journey of 1,000 miles, beginning with a single step. Sometimes we conformed, sometimes others conformed us. Our development was continuous creation of complex forms. And our helpless kind demanded the meeting eyes of love. We split the universe into two halves, me and not me. And we juggled the needed to curb our own will we be becoming what we could freely. Your children may be able to start crawling on his or her 6th month of age, but others may not even be able to roll over from their tummy yet. That is because development stages of every child are different, but theoretically, babies will follow this milestone throughout their first year at their own pace. The first year of life is an exciting and often nerve-wracking period for parents since their newborns will develop and change more than at any other time in their lives. From their birth length and weight, newborns grow about 3 inches and gain an average of 4.5 pounds by 4 months. It's actually normal for a newborn baby to drop 5 to 10% of their body weight within a couple of weeks of birth. That is because of the neonatal bleeding. Once they adjust to sucking, swallowing, and digesting, they grow rapidly. During the first year of life, their head circumference grows between 0.25 and zero point 0.5 inches per month. This explains the cephalocaudal pattern. We all know that we learned in Unit 1, Module 1, that the cephalocaudal trend is a postnatal growth from conception to 5 months when the head grows more than the body. This cephalocaudal trend of growth that applies to the development of the fetus also applies in the first month after the birth. Infants learn to use their upper limbs before their lower limbs. The same pattern occurs in the head area because the top parts of the head, which is the eyes and the brain, grow faster than the lower part, which is the jaw. So as we notice, yung mga bagong silang na mga baby is dinadala sila sa hospital for check-up. Kasi aside sa height and weight na chine-check ng mga doctors, chine-check din ng mga doctors yung head part ni baby. Because para sa kanila, mas mabilis yung growth sa head part kaysa sa lower part ng katawan ng isang baby. And then, kapag the reason why kung bakit nila chine-check yun is because baka kasi yung masyadong mabilis yung growth sa head part ni baby. Pag kasi ganun, baka may complications na, like baka may hydrocephalus na sakit si baby, or may tubig na yung utak or head part ni baby. And also, baka din masyadong mabagal yung growth ng head part ni baby, which is baka may sakit na microcephalus, or hindi normal yung growth ng head part ni baby kumpara sa mga normal na growth ng mga baby, ng ibang baby. After discussing the cephalocaudal, let's go back to the one of the physical development of an infant, which is the height and the weight. By 6 months, their weight has usually doubled from birth, averaging a gain of 0.5 ounce to 1 ounce a day. Growth may begin to slow around this time for infants and become more gradual by the time they reach their first birthday. Newborns have grown around 10 inches in length in triple and weight. In general, an infant's length increases about 30% in the first 5 months. A baby's weight usually triples during the first year but slows down in the second year of life. Lastly, low percentage are not cause or alarm as infants progress as long as a natural curve of steady development. Feeding may begin at this age for some newborns, with the first tooth appearing between the ages of 4 and 18 months. Most babies will develop teeth between 6 to 12 months. The first key milestone of an infant, the gross motor skills. The gross motor skills are abilities that let us do the task that involves large muscles in our torso, legs, and arms. They involve the whole body movements. We use gross motor skills for all sorts of physical activities like running, and most people use these skills easily and automatically. But most of the babies take their first steps before 12 months and are walking on their own by the time they're 14 or 15 months old. The next one is the fine motor skills. The fine motor skills is efficiently significantly influences the quality of the task outcome as well as the speed of the task performance. Efficient fine motor skills require a number of independent skills to work together to appropriately manipulate the object or to perform the task. So, by 18 months, your little one can likely drink from a cup, eat with a spoon, and help get undressed. So the question is, what skills do fine motor skills include? It includes academic skills and play skills. In academic skills, it has a play skills and cutting skills. In pencil skills, it's like drawing, coloring, and in play skills, it's construction skills like playing puzzles.
The gross motor skill of an infant. Scientists have observed that motor skills generally develop from the center of the body outward and from head to the tail. Muna siyang gi-explain ni Miss Jinky ganina sa cephalocaudal. Tummy time, one of the gross motor example skill na ma-observe nato sa babies. In 2 months, baby able to rest their head and chest up off the ground and rest their body on their elbows. 3 months. They can hold themselves up longer periods up to several minutes. 4 months. They can maintain control of their head and hold it steadily while they're sitting up with the help or lying on their own belly. 5 months. Babies will wiggle all their limbs while they lie down on their belly. 6 months. Most infants can sit up by themselves. 7 months. Babies begin to crawl. In 8 months, baby can sit up by extended periods of themselves. 9 months. They can reach and play with toys while maintaining their balance, and they can pull themselves to their feet while holding something to be a support. 10 months. They can stand with their own extended period. 11 months. The ability to walk improve as infant walks while holding onto caregiver's hand. And so on. So, kato siya kay tummy time, example sa gross motor skill, kanang pag baby pa ka, nag-start biadjud ka sa hapa, kulob, sunod crawl, and then hinay-hinay ka, gunit anang edges sa chair or lamesa, hinahinay kag gunit, tas ma-build up nimo balance nimo. And then in other months, past months, kay maka hinahinay nakaglakaw with the help of your parent or caregiver, but only in short period of time. The fine motor skill of a infant. In 2 months, babies are pre-reaching. They will extend their arm towards an object that interests them, but they will rarely be able to make a hand contact with that object. In 4 months, they will want to practice and hold the palm and their enclosed finger in a clumsy ulnar grip. In 5 months, babies are able to handle and pick up large objects. Between ages 7 to 9 months, most babies can pick up and drink from a cup. In 12 months, babies can now use their hands independently of one another in playing. This will enable them to manipulate tools in the next year.
Hello, good day, Ma'am Melissa Napil, and also to my fellow classmates. My name is Aaron Alberto, and my group is Group B. Today, now I'll be discussing the toddler's physical development. In just a few short years, your child will go from crawling and babbling as an infant to running, jumping, and excitedly telling stories as a toddler. Between the ages of 1 and 2, children gain roughly 3 to 5 pounds and grow 3 to 5 inches. But between the ages of 2 and 5, this rapid growth slows down. During this time, your child will develop increasing strength and coordination. And what we will be discussing is about potty training as a stage in where toddlers learn about this. Most children are ready to begin toilet training between 22 and 30 months of age. Remember that with potty training, like with all other development, every child is different. Wait to start potty training until your child is ready, both physically and emotionally. Starting too early can cause amount of frustration for both parents and child. It is important to try to keep the experience a positive one. Before beginning potty training, your child needs to have control of his or her bladder and bowels. Signs of this control include having a dry diaper after naps and for at least 2 hours at a time. Your child also should be having bowel movements around the same time each day, not during the night. In order for potty training to be successful, your son or daughter must be able to use a potty seat or potty chair on his or her own, which includes being able to climb up onto the seat, talk to the parent or caregiver, and remove his or her own clothing. Potty training is important because it is one of the first training or what we call a activity to a toddler. Parents or caregivers should be patient about this because it is the very first training to a toddler. If your child is emotionally ready, he or she should be willing to cooperate and might even talk about being a big girl or a big boy. If your child resists, it's better to stop for a while and then restart potty training again at a different time. Boys and girls are slightly different when it comes to potty training. Boys who start the toilet training process between 22 and 30 months of age tend to be fully trained by 38 months, while girls who start training at the same time are usually trained by 36 months. However, being fully trained does not mean that your child will not still need help at times. It is common for children to need help wiping after a bowel movement until age 4 or 5, and to need adult supervision while using public restrooms until age 5 or 6.
Gross motor skill of a toddler. As the toddler develops a smoother gait, they also develop the ability to run, jump, and hop. They can also push themselves around with their feet while sitting on a riding toy. They climb up the stairs using a method of bringing both feet together on each step before proceeding the next step. However, young children may still need some backup assistance to prevent fall in case they become unsteady in this new skill. Younger age like them kay dili pa jud sure ang safety or ang balancing nila, unsteady pa sila. So, dapat i-assist pa nimo siya. Pwede ra nimo siya pasagdan, pero ang kamot nimo or nasa likod niya or stay alert ka samtang na siya mga activities na di pa niya kaya. Children of this age will also be stopped when it's time to go back down the stairs. They tend to turn around and scoot down the stairs backwards. Pag munaog siya, kay maglisod pa mo siya, di pa siya nga pag atubang ni mo, naog din siya diretso para sa older age, siya kay kanang iyang front kay nagyapon sa pasaka sa agdanan, pero iyang tiil pahinay-hinay na paubos. So, toddler can jump and hop higher as their leg muscle grows stronger. Many of them can even hop 1 foot for short periods of time. Children develop better upper body mobility as a result of their catching and throwing abilities improve in speed and accuracy. Fine motor skills of a toddler. Children can create things with their hands like build towers out of blocks, mold clay into rough shapes, and scribble. When we said scribble, kuris-kuris or kanang sulat-sulat na walay sense, basta musalay malingawan nila mo ay sulat with a crayon or a pen. They begin showing a preference of using one hand more often than other, which is beginning of becoming left or right-handed. Sa bata, maginahinag magkadako ang bata, makabalo ka og left or right-handed siya, ay inani na age, diri pa ka makabalo og left or right-handed siya kung unsay mas ginagamit niya kay inani na age, makabalo naman ka like pag maggamit siya kutsara or magsulat siya or unsa iyang i-grip or i-hold kung asa dapit ang kamot mas prefer niya. Dito nimo mailhan o unsa iyang mas ginagamit.